Everyone tells you to style more, to layer, accessorize, put in more effort. But what if I told you that you don't need styling to look elegant? And that in fact, in many cases, styling is actually the reason you don't. Elegance isn't about effort, it's about ease and appropriateness. Now that's not to say elegant women never style, they do, but what makes them different is they know when styling adds something and what it takes away. So in this video, I'll walk you through 3 ways styling actually shows up in real life and show you when you can skip styling, do minimal styling, or do full styling. If you are new here, my name is May. I am a personal stylist specializing in elegant everyday style, not just dressing for special occasions, but actually looking put together in real life. And I'll say this, most style content online doesn't actually help with casual elegance because the majority of this content is optimized for visual impact rather than real life. A lot of it applies event level styling to everyday situations, which creates 3 problems. First, visual noise. Second, it can make you feel overdressed or self-conscious. And third, and most importantly, it turns everyday dressing into a big task. That last one is the reason why I spent years living in t-shirts and jeans, because I genuinely believed that if I wanted to look put together, I would have to do a lot of styling, I would have to put in time and effort in how I look, and that simply did not make sense for my routine at the time. What this kind of advice completely ignores is real life. Errands, appointments, school drop-offs, late-night grocery runs. I don't know how many women are willing to spend 30 minutes plus putting together an outfit for that, but based on the women that I've worked with, nobody actually does. And if you're anything like me, I admit, I am lazy. I want getting dressed to be easy, quick, and I'm done. I work from home the majority of the time. Sometimes I would work from a coffee shop, but even then, it makes no sense for me to be wearing 3+ pieces with belts and scarves and accessories just to be sitting on my laptop for like 5 hours. Do I want to look put together? Yes. Do I want to dress elegantly? Absolutely. Do I want that to take a lot of effort? Absolutely not. Okay, and I know I'm not alone. So the question becomes, how do you look elegant without turning everyday dressing into a big task? Which brings us to the first mode of styling, which is no styling at all. And I mean it. No styling, zero, nada. And I know some of you might hear this and be like, May, are you trying to make me look plain and boring? No, stay with me, because if this is done correctly, it will actually create the most effortless elegance. The belief that you have to constantly style largely comes from online style advice, which again is not optimized for real life. When you remove styling, the outfit itself has to do the work, and this is where most women go wrong, not because they don't know how to style, but because they're relying on the wrong pieces and then finding themselves in a situation where you have to overcompensate with styling to make the outfit look good. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to rely on fancy or statement pieces to carry the outfit. It simply means that you need to find items that look intentional and finished on their own. I call them elevated basics, and they function exactly like your everyday clothes, like your hoodies, t-shirts, jeans, sweats, but they look far more intentional without needing anything to be added. Once you understand this, getting dressed will be way easier, faster, far more intuitive. Honestly, this has been the biggest shift for me, and I can never go back. And this is why I'm so selective with the brands I recommend, because not every brand offers elevated basics. Which brings us to today's sponsor, OGL Move. I've had their pieces for years now, and I'm constantly recommending them in my content, in my private sessions, because their pieces truly make no styling work. OGL focuses on everyday pieces that feel comfortable but look intentional, and you'll see this throughout the video. I'll show you the kind of pieces that look finished without needing to add too much. They use thoughtful fabric blends that are breathable, soft, and elevated, and have a nice texture to them, which is exactly what you need when you don't plan on styling much. The fit is consistent, the designs are clean, and what I love the most is that their pieces can seamlessly transition from loungewear to casual to smart casual. You can easily dress them up and down. So if you're tired of living in hoodies and t-shirts but still want something you can actually live in, OGL makes a wonderful upgrade. I'll be showing you my favorite picks throughout the video. You will find the links in the description box, where you'll also get 20% off automatically. Now, the biggest difference between outfits that need styling and those that don't is this: a sense of completion. These two v-neck tops look similar at first glance, but notice the difference. The one on the left has a wider binding and more structure, so it already feels finished on its own. The one on the right has a more open neckline and a looser fit, which leaves the outfit feeling unresolved. And that's the key distinction. When the design does the work, styling becomes optional. When it doesn't, styling becomes necessary. The v-neck top from OGL works as is. Paired with these slim pull-on pants, the structure does the work for you. These pants look like tailored trousers, but they're not. They're super stretchy, they're soft, and they're perfect for everyday wear. This is actually what I wear when I'm working from home or running an errand. This looks intentional, put together with zero styling. Same with these dark jeans. The central seams, the good cut, the structure does the work for you. This is actually what I wore the other night to the mall, but I had to get something last minute and I had to get dressed really quickly. Zero styling, but it looks put together. Now, could I add jewelry and a belt? Yes. Will it make it look better? Sure. But the point is, you don't have to. If you don't feel like it, if you're in a rush, if you don't want to try too hard, styling becomes optional rather than mandatory. I've shown this example before. This two-piece set from OGL just looks so elevated and luxurious. It's perfect for loungewear, traveling. I wear this to the airport. I wear this when I'm running errands, and it's just so easy. You just put it on and go. Zero styling needed, and it looks really good. So far, I've shown you casual outfits with no styling, but the same idea can apply to dressier outfits as well if the design is strong enough. For example, this mandarin collar top from OGL looks complete on its own. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need a necklace. It doesn't need a scarf. If you take a look at the details, the collars, the frog buttons, the cuffs, everything looks finished and complete on its own. So it's doing the work for you. Another hack that I love, especially when I want to look a bit dressy without putting in much effort, is to go for palazzo pants like these. I got these from Italy years ago and I still wear them. I still love them. And in this case, the color palette is doing the work for you. The cream and golden tones look so elevated and luxurious without needing you to add anything else to make them better. There are so many things that make an item look elegant and expensive, from the fabric, the color, the design details, and I don't want to get too technical here. I cover this deeply in my Essence of Elegance course, but the point is, look for pieces that look intentional and finished on their own. And this is where you can confidently skip styling. Up until now, everything that we've covered required no styling. Now we're shifting to where minimal styling is actually needed. This is when the outfit already has a strong foundation, but something feels off. I call these almost outfits. What almost feels like is you're dressed, you don't look bad, but you keep thinking something is missing. That's your cue. That's your sign that your outfit needs an anchor. Exhibit A. I'm wearing the same OGL pants that I showed you in part 1, but instead of the matching top, I'm wearing them with a sweater, which exposes the belt loops. When the belt loops are visible, when you can see those loops, 9 times out of 10, it is a call for you to add a belt. Jewelry here is optional. It wouldn't make a big difference, but adding that one styling element, the belt, completely solve the problem. So styling here isn't decoration, it's resolution. And actually, it's still effortless, it's still quick and easy, and it gave you an elevated look. Exhibit B. Here I'm wearing the mandarin going out top from OGL with the same slim pull-on pants that I told you in part 1. And this combination looks so chic, so classy, and it looks a bit dressy. This is the type of outfit that I would wear to a nice dinner or to an art gallery. But if I showed up to dinner like that, I would feel slightly underdressed. Not because the outfit is bad, but because the setting requires more. And because the foundation is already strong, I don't need to do too much. A pop of color heels with an interesting bag, and voila, suddenly the outfit feels complete. It's not overstyled or understyled, and that sweet spot is what makes an outfit look elegant and effortless. So as a general rule, once you start dressing smart casual and above, brunches, dinners, social settings, work events, styling naturally becomes more expected. A lack of styling at this level can make you look underdressed, even if the piece is beautiful. Different levels of formality ask for different choices, designs, footwear, accessories, bags, even the fabric and finish can be different. I go into this deeply in Essence of Elegance, where I give you a list of what to wear according to each dress code, but the key takeaway here is styling only works when it matches the context. A literal black dress worn completely on its own can look unfinished. It can signal a lack of effort instead of intentional simplicity. With an open neckline like this, jewelry is no longer optional. It's actually being called for. This is when you take out your statement necklace, statement jewelry. This is the moment they were made for. When styling is done correctly, every element gets its moment. Nothing competes, nothing overwhelms, nothing overpowers, and that balance is what makes a look elegant. Another situation where styling truly matters is when a piece can be dressed up or down. This day dress from OGL already looks lovely, but depending on where I'm going, it needs an anchor. It needs direction. Sneakers or slides with a casual bag tell us casual. Kitten heels with a scarf tell us smart casual. Same dress, different message. And finally, let's talk about when styling is actually necessary. This happens when pieces don't look that inspiring on their own. Not like almost right pieces we saw in Mode 2, but actually flat, plain, or forgettable pieces. This usually happens with very basic pieces. Basic t-shirts, tops, simple knits, cardigans, jeans, solid colors with no design interest. There is nothing wrong with them, but they were made to be supporting items. They don't carry the outfit on their own. That's why you need to rely on styling. Remember that V-neck top we saw earlier that felt unresolved on its own? This is where styling becomes required rather than optional. So if I want it to look elevated in this V-neck top, I will need to put in some effort. I paired it with cream silk pants to elevate the look. I added a patterned silk scarf as a belt to add visual interest. I added jewelry, heels, a bag, and I could totally stop here, but I wanted to add a third piece to just tie everything together. And now the outfit feels finished. It feels complete. On its own, the V-neck top felt like it belonged inside of a full outfit. So when we gave it that, suddenly everything clicked. So styling here was the right call. And here's another example. This square neck top from OGL can be dressed up or down. I can totally wear it casually, but I would need to do minimal styling, at least add a necklace. But if I wanted to dress it up, that's when I would bring in my scarf, my belt, the heels, the bag, and the rest of the team to make it work. And suddenly, the black top tells a completely different story. I wish I could show you more examples from my wardrobe, but I honestly don't have that many basics left. I replaced like 95% of my basics with elevated basics because they just make dressing so much easier and faster, as you have seen. I don't have to style all the time, and that's the freedom that most women need. So when you zoom out, it becomes clear that elegance is about discernment, not doing more, not styling harder. The real effort that you have to do is knowing what to buy. That solves like 70% of your problems. The other 30% is basically knowing what the outfit needs and what the occasion calls for. Sometimes that means no styling at all because the piece already speaks for itself. Sometimes that means minimal styling where you have a strong foundation but you just need an anchor. And sometimes it means full styling where you go all in with your accessories, layers, and jewelry. Once you understand this, getting dressed becomes faster and far more intuitive. That's how it is for me. That is what my students tell me they experience, and that's how it should be for you too. If you want to go deeper into this, shopping smarter, understanding dress codes, mastering casual elegance, I cover all of that in my Essence of Elegance program, which I will link for you below. And that's all for today. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions and what would you like to see next. And until then, stay elegant.